Hi, today I will be discussing two different theorists of cognitive development. The first is Jean Piaget, and the second theorist is Lev Vygotsky. Jean Piaget's theory of cognitive development was based in his belief that we are always actively trying to make sense of our experiences so we can survive. He believed that children think differently than adults. He stated that not only do children have less information or skill in thinking, but also have qualitative differences that cause unique developmental levels. Piaget identified 4 stages that represented different qualities of thought. The first, sensory motor, occurs from birth through 2. During this stage, infants understand the world through the information they gather through their senses and how they act on that information. The next stage is the pre-operational stage, which is from the ages of 2 to 7. Children who are in this stage use mental symbols but are not yet able to think logically. Their thinking is egocentric, which means that they cannot see things from someone else's perspective. After pre-operational is the concrete operation stage. This stage begins at age 7 and ends when the child is 12. While children in this stage can think logically, they lack the ability to have abstract thought. It is primarily concrete. The last stage is formal operations. This stage is for 12 years and older. Adolescents are able to think both logically and abstractly. Diversity in this theory seemed minimal, as Piaget believed that each stage of development had to occur in such a specific order. Piaget's theory is used in early childhood by allowing the child to experience their surroundings. By providing ways for children in infancy to understand object permanence, a caregiver could play peekaboo. The field experience location I have been observing at is enabling the children to advance from stage to stage. This theory can be used in elementary schools by allowing children to play imaginary games during recess. Schools could provide children with boxes that become boats, access to plants and rocks that become a gourmet meal, or stairs leading to a slide that becomes a castle. This theory can also be applied in a home setting. For example, by understanding that adolescents have an imaginary audience, parents could interact with their child better. The strength of this theory is that it breaks development up into specified stages. That is also its weakness. There is little accommodation for children who reach those stages sooner or later than others. He believed they could only occur in a particular order. Lev Vygotsky's sociocultural theory of cognitive development is based on the belief that learning and ideas begin in the social world. Vygotsky believed that children's ideas are shaped by the zone of proximal development, which is what a child cannot do on her own. Scaffolding, which is the provision of help to move the child just beyond the current level of ability, and private speech, which is talking to oneself to guide your own actions. Diversity of ability is addressed by having a knowledgeable adult assist a child with a new concept. The use of scaffolding in early childhood education is a very effective tool. I saw scaffolding being used out of my field experience location during table time. The teacher invited children to identify a new shape and then named and described it for them. This theory can be used in elementary schools to help a child advance from one skill to another in areas such as problem solving and gaining independence. It can also be used in a home setting to show children life skills, such as chores or dressing themselves. The strengths of Vygotsky's sociocultural theory have been very effective in the field of education. It fosters independence for a child within her own culture and social setting. The only drawback that I saw was when I questioned how a child could develop in the instance that there was no adult scaffolding. If a child was homeless or neglected, would they still develop those necessary cognitive skills? Both theories were interesting to read about. Piaget's focused more on innate knowledge and genetics, while Vygotsky's was based on social interactions. Overall, as a teacher, I leaned more towards Vygotsky's theory because it was about enabling children to gain the developmental skills to function independently. For this video, I referenced the textbook Child Development, An Active Learning Approach, 3rd edition by Laura E. Levine and Joyce Munch. Thank you.